always try out most of the protocols that pop up, and it interests me. And sometimes you're lucky and you get an airdrop for that. But yeah, I'm very curious, and that's why I usually try out as most as I can. So I've prepared a short agenda for today. So first of all, I will give you a short introduction on how to set up your account, how you should start with an analysis. I'll give you a short overview of how the Flipside Studio works, and we will also write some first queries and maybe also create a chart in a dashboard. And then I will also explain a bit how our top N earn program works. And yeah, at the end, I have a special slide about be careful because yeah, it's a very important topic at the moment. And yeah, at the end there will be some links for you guys. Also the slides, I will share it afterwards with Chris Collins, and he can share it then with all of you. So you don't need to write down anything now. I will provide the slides later. So let's start with a quick overview on how to set up your account. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I would say. Usually, if you visit Flipside crypto page, let me try. How can I? Yeah, now you see now you see it. Usually on the top right, you see as on the screen here, you see the sign up button. If you click it, a pop-up is shown. It's the number 2, what you see here. If you're already set up your account, you can just log in. If not, you have to set up an account. We have different ways to do that. You can sign up with your email and your user. You can also use an Ethereum address, or you can also use a Discord address. I personally not a fan of the Ethereum variant, because that means later that your account name in Flipside is also this Ethereum address, and that is maybe not the best idea. So my suggestion is really set up a new account, pick a username, enter your email address, and a wonderful protective password, and continue. After that, you are able to log in. At slide 4, at screenshot 4, you can see the options you have. The middle one is the most important at the beginning. If you press that, you will come on the screen number 5. And then usually it's the best to start with the profile. Why? Because you see there your username again, and you can also add your Twitter, your Discord, and your Telegram address. This is maybe for you guys not super important, but it is for us as a moderator. This is super important because sometimes we have the need to reach out to you. And usually if you don't fill out this information, we don't know if you have a different username on Discord. Then here in the Flipside Studio, we don't know which account it is. Also, we don't know which Twitter account is yours. So it's pretty hard for us to find out and to reach out to you. So this is, I would say, from our perspective, the most important thing at the beginning. Set up your account, enter your Twitter, enter your Discord, and then you are ready to go. You have also the possibility to add some wallet addresses, but you can also do that later. There is no need to do that at the beginning. After that, for sure, you just click the login button, sign up, and you are in. So when you do that, usually it looks like this, and then there is this Launch Studio button. If you press that, you will directly be in the Flipside Studio. So what we see here is from the first view, it's maybe a bit overwhelming, but on the left side, we have some very important buttons. You see, if you click recent, you see the last dashboards and queries you have edited. You have my work. This is your organization of your dashboards and queries. You have database. There you can see all the blockchains where we provide data for. So it's quite a lot, I would say. And there is live query. Live query we skip for today. We will stick to the database and the my work thing. Let me go back. Yeah. So before we start to write some queries and stuff, usually you should have a good idea on what kind of analysis you want to do. And if you don't have an idea, we provide some pretty cool tools to support you with that. The first one is to find some trending tweets. So this tool will show you some trending topics on Twitter. That makes it easy for you to pick a good one, and it maybe also make directly an analysis for the topic. The other one is in general some trending topics for the different blockchains that we offer. This is also very helpful to find a good topic. If you have chosen a topic, for example, you want to make a deep dive for a protocol, for a DeFi platform, usually the first thing you should do is really use the platform, use the protocol, play with it, make some transactions, maybe with some very low amount of tokens, just to try it out. And the good thing, if you try it out, is also that you already generate some transactions. And it's very good to note that transaction IDs, because that is a very good starting point for later to do an analysis about this protocol. It sounds very boring, but it's sometimes very helpful is read the protocol docs. I mean, I know it sounds boring, but if you really want to understand how a DeFi platform works and how high the fees are and all that stuff, it's all in the protocols. So take your time, go through the docs, read a bit about the protocol. You can learn a lot there, and it will be very helpful later for your analysis. It makes it much easier for you to understand what is going on in those transactions. Another very good thing is also to use all these blockchain explorers out there, because also there you can again use the transaction IDs that you generated before when you tried out the protocol, because yeah, you can search for the transaction IDs there, and you will see get a summary of what happened inside the transaction. This is also very helpful to understand what kind of data are stored in the transaction, because all the data you are able to query afterwards with our data. And this is, I would say, yeah, a very good starting point to start with your first analysis.
I have to drop in a sec, but I wanted to chime in briefly. Another great way to find stuff that is fun to analyze is spending time in communities, dropping into a project Discord or following them on Twitter or making friends over there, or even a project that you're interested in. If you're transacting and you want to look at your own transactions or look at projects that you like, those are all great ways to start. I fully agree. Reading protocol docs is a good idea. I think it's also possible just to see what are other people interested in. Maybe Marina can drop the trending tool that Flipside provides that creates a summary for you of interesting ideas to analyze that are trending on Twitter. But don't underestimate just asking people, hey, I'm new here. I'm building up my analyst toolkit, my professional toolkit. What would you like to see? What are you interested in? You can get a lot of really good ideas from project discords and just from what other people find interesting. So just wanted to add that. I do have to drop. I'm late for my 1:15 over here, but it's great to see everybody. Thanks, Piper, for running the session. Looking forward to seeing dashboards from you all, and ask us questions in our Discord anytime. We're here to help.
Yeah, thanks, GJ, for that. All right, so then, yeah, here are, by the way, the links that DJ mentioned. It's already in the slides, so you have the possibility to play around with that afterwards when I provide the slides. Flipside Studio, let's go there. Let me share this tab. As I mentioned, this is Flipside Studio. On the left, we have the most important, yeah, let's say sections. And because we want to do something new, I have already prepared a folder or a collection, and inside this folder, it is just an empty query. So if you want to create a new query, just use the plus button here behind the collection, choose a query, and there it is. So I thought about what kind of example I would pick the whole day, and I decided to go for an NFT collection, which I really love. It's not super famous, it's not new, it's from last year, but I personally really like it. It's called Wrecked Chickens. And as I mentioned, it is good to start with a transaction ID. So I already picked a transaction ID. This is Basescan because this collection is on the Base blockchain. Usually what you can do is paste in the transaction ID, press enter, and you will find the transaction with all its details. In this case, this is a sale of a NFT, and it was on the OpenSea platform. We can see that already here because it's mentioned here. And this is the NFT that was sold, which was sold from this guy, and yeah, was bought by this guy. So what we can do now in Flipside is we write our first query. So we select everything from, in this case, it is base. We go for the core schema and choose fact transactions. Then there is the filter where tx hash equals the ID. And then we run the query, and I'm pretty sure we will find it. So you see the results in the bottom. This is yeah, what we get back in this table. I can also show it here. Here's the base chain. We choose the core schema. Here's transactions, because the good thing with this database explorer on the left side is you can go through all our tables and you will see which columns are inside the table. It makes it much easier to query the right stuff, because usually using the star is just to start your analysis, but it's much better later to just focus on what you really need and skip the rest. In this case, this is a transaction. It was on 23rd of this year, 23rd of March this year. Yeah, and then we see from and where it goes usually. But the thing is that this transaction table at the beginning for is very complicated, and it's hard to start with an analysis from there. So what we also provide in Flipside Studio is the so-called easy tables. So we have as we are looking at an NFT project, we have the NFT schema here on the left. We have an easy table for NFT sales. And what we do now is we just change here to NFT, and we go for the easy NFT sales and search exactly for the same transaction ID. And oops. Now, and we get back a result. And this is much easier to read and understand. So we see, okay, event type was sale. We see the platform address. In this case, the platform name is in the next column. So as I said, it is an OpenSea. You see the exchange version. That is now not super important for the moment. You see the seller address. You see the buyer address. And you see the project name, Rag Chickens. And you see the NFT address. This is the NFT address of the project. And then also you see in what currency this was paid. In this case, it was Ethereum. You see also the fees that are collected by the platform and for the transaction and so on. And this is much easier than to query. So for example, if we want to know how much of these Rag Chickens were sold via OpenSea, we write a different query. We want to count, for example, tx hash in this case as amount of sales, or not amount, it's more sales. We stick to this table. We skip the tx hash because we don't want only this one transaction. We want all transactions in this case, but it's always good to filter. So in this case, we will say the project name was Rag Chickens, for example, with a space. Oops. And so what will happen is that this query will count every single sale that was made via OpenSea. Let's see how many sales transactions are done there. 0. Good question. Why? Let's count. Is it +1? I guess. Let's make it. Let's go for the NFT address. Maybe there was a typo. Yeah. So we see those Rag Chickens were sold 531 times via OpenSea. It's not super much. Yeah. So the next thing is that we can say, hey, in total we had 531 sales, but we want to see how many of those chickens were sold per day. So what we add then is another line of code because we want to go for the log timestamp as, let's say, date. And because the block timestamp is, as we saw it earlier, it's a complete timestamp within, I guess is it in milliseconds? So the thing is, we need to kind of format it, and there we have a function called date trunk, and we want to say we want them per day. So because we want it on a daily basis, we need to group by. In this case, it's date. You can also say order by. Ascending. So date and go for it. Typo. I should use the autocomplete. More typos. So what we see in the result is now the sales numbers on a daily basis. So this looks quite good. So I would say it would be interesting to see those days with their numbers in a chart. In this case, I would say a bar chart is quite good for that. So I start here with the date column and here with the number of sales, and voila, there is the first chart. So we see at the beginning, when this collection starts in OpenSea, the sales volume was pretty high, then it slowed down very much, and then since then there are sometimes some peaks. I don't know why, but there are. But in general, the sales volume for this collection is super low because maybe it's not super popular on base. Yeah. So what we see here on the right side is also the possibility then to format stuff a bit. We can name this chart. In this case, it's daily number of sold chickens. Subtitle, skip. X-axis is, so we see on the left number of sales, and this is directly how it was written in the SQL, but that doesn't look super nice. So I prefer then to use also in the bottom, it's called date, but it was all in uppercase, but I prefer it to make some better readable labels. And then here is it, number of sold chickens. So because the reader later who reads your dashboard, for him it's much easier now to understand what those X's mean. I mean, the date is clear, but on the left side, the number of sold chickens, it makes it easier to understand the whole chart. Yeah, you can also on the top left, you see here is the legend. You can remove that if you want to, because in this case it's totally fine. It's just one value there, so it's not needed. You can also leave it there. You can move it around. You can put it on the top left, right, wherever. But I would just disable it here. And then later, last, you of course can also change the colors of those bar charts. So here in settings, because we are using high charts, are more possibilities to style this chart. But for the beginning, we skip that because this is, I would say, kind of very complex. You see here's the high charts API reference. If you're interested in that, you can just check it out there. But it's for the beginning, it's super complicated, so I would skip that. Okay, so the first chart is done. Next is let's create a dashboard. We have the old dashboard and we have a V2, the old one. You can actually still use it, but it's already deprecated and will be removed in the next few weeks. So I would say please stick to the dashboard V2. And these also look much nicer. At the top, there's again our title. Those are random titles by the studio itself. In this case, I would say it's direct chicken analysis, for example. And yeah, so because we created a chart, and we want to put that chart also on that dashboard. You see here on top, it's the latest or the last chart that I created. It's already here in the list, so just pick it, and it's already then on the dashboard. So inside the dashboard, you can add a few more things. You can add charts. You can also add some text boxes if you want to add a description of your dashboard, for example. What else do we have? We can add headings. If you have different sections in your dashboard, you can use the heading to put those between it and name those sections. You can also add some images if you want. Sometimes it's makes the whole dashboard a bit nicer, and it looks much better than just pure charts and text. What else? Layout. I never used that one. You can skip it for now. You can also add some tabs on top. So that means you can not only have one slide in your dashboard, you can have a few slides, and you can navigate with those tabs through those slides. If you have a very complex dashboard, it makes total sense to split up the dashboard in more slides. It's because it's much more readable then. So let's remove that also. I'm not sure if I have some. Let me quickly check if I have a chicken somewhere. So, So not super complex, but this could be your first analysis. This one, in this case, it would be about reg chickens and the daily sales amount. And the next thing, if you're finished with your dashboard, is that you have to publish it. You can do that on the top right. There is this share button. If you press that, there appears the publish button. You can also add an image for the dashboard for our overview in Flipside. You can also skip that. You don't need to do it. If you publish that, you get the info that it's published, and you can copy the link later or here, or directly share it from here on Twitter. Okay. For example, so there's also already the tweet, the link to the dashboard, and you can say, hey, here is my first dashboard about red chickens. Also here, makes totally sense maybe to add a picture, because otherwise the tweet would be a bit too boring. Let's use the same one and post. So why is it important to share those dashboards on Twitter? Because maybe you want to take part in our Earn program, which I will explain in a few minutes. Let me check the slide. So we had a quick explanation of the Flipside Studio. We have written a query. We have created a chart from that query. We have created a first dashboard, and we have published it. A very maybe important information is the next sentence, is that we at Flipside, we don't offer live data. So this sounds super strange, but I mean, it takes time to get all the data and store it in the database. And usually for a data analysis, it's not needed to have live data, because if you want to analyze data, it's already in the past usually. So it's totally okay to have data which is not live and which is a bit older. A bit older in this case means 1 or 2 hours. That's usually the time frame that we need to import the data in our database. If you want to see or understand how the state of the status of the data is, there are, in this case, one dashboard. One is built by myself. I can open it and show it quickly, just that you see. This is just to help you analysts to understand how fresh the data is at the moment. You see everything looks good. Aurora, in this case, is yellow because it's slightly behind a bit, but all in all, data is fresh and up to date so far. Another good thing to understand how old data could be is to switch to the Flipside docs. There is also explained which data we have, which category, and also what the data latency usually is. Just that you don't wonder, because, for example, if as I said earlier, if you try out a protocol, you will generate some transactions, but you're not able to directly query those transactions. You have to wait, let's say, an hour or two to get that data. It's not possible to directly query that data because we need a bit of time. So, quick pause and something to drink. Okay. What is also super interesting is, of course, what I've said earlier. In Flipside, we offer data for different chains, and we also offer different data schemas. Those schemas are, if you go back here on the left side, this is the data, and these are the different schemas. So for today, I would say I will skip to go into detail here. Usually, at the beginning, it is much easier to use those easy tables. Sometimes we have this for DeFi. We have this also for NFT stuff. You can, of course, also use the core stuff, but that might be sometimes those fact tables are sometimes much more difficult to query because it's harder to get the data you need. For that, we have the easy tables that makes it easier, at least at the beginning. Later, if you want to dive deeper, it makes totally sense to go for the fact transactions, transfers, and so on. The question why is those easy tables never have every data because, for example, if a new NFT platform pops up, we have to set up these tables or those transactions to be included in our easy tables. So if you wonder sometimes why your transaction is not visible in the easy tables, there are maybe two possibilities. The data is maybe not up to date or is a bit behind. That's the first one. And the second one is we don't cover all platforms and protocols in the easy tables because this has to be done by Flipside. So we have to prepare those tables for every new protocol because those transactions always look different for every protocol, and that's why we have to set it up manually and configure it. And yeah, we can't do that for everything. So usually we are doing that just for the most important platforms. Yeah. So as I said, for the beginning, it is totally fine to use those easy tables. Later, if you really want to dig deeper and make much more deeper and insightful analysis, I guess you have to go for the fact tables and have to skip most of the time the easy tables. So yeah, if you want to learn a bit more about those different schemas and so on, I've collected a few links here, some dashboards also. There is also the link to the documentation at Flipside. These are very, very good and very helpful sources to understand how we store data and where you guys can find what kind of data. Yeah. At the bottom, this is an offer to you guys. What we can do later is we can organize a second session where we can dive a bit deeper in those tables and schemas. I guess for the beginning, it's okay to not do that because it's sometimes then very helpful if you already played around with all those tables and already have a good understanding of what we have, and then it's easier for you guys to understand and also to ask more detailed questions about the data schemas. So what do we have here? Yeah, this is maybe, or not maybe, I guess this is also very interesting and important for you guys. So as you may already know, we at Flipside offer a so-called earning program. It's called Top N. To take place in the Top N earning program, you don't have to do very much at the beginning. As I said, it's necessary to set up your account. You have to add all your details. It's important to have your Twitter and Discord there. Also, then later add your wallet addresses, because if you earn, we need the addresses to for you to do the payouts. Yeah. Usually, at the beginning, it's sometimes unclear for everyone how to start. In general, it's pretty easy. You just need to create an insightful dashboard with an interesting or trending topic, publish it, write a tweet with a summary about your dashboard and your analysis. Maybe also put some findings there and post that tweet on Twitter. Also, maybe you can add some KOLs or the protocols itself, for example, to get some attention. A different way is to just, for example, if you go for an NFT project, if they just minted, use the tweet that they published for the mint, quote it at your dashboard about the NFT collection there, write also a short summary and go for it. Sometimes I would say quoting a tweet is better than just commenting a tweet. Yeah. Because yeah, I guess it's the better way to get attention from the KOLs. The fourth thing, so to earn, it is important for you that your tweet on Twitter gets impressions, get some retweets, get some quotes, get some likes. Most important are retweets or quotes from KOLs. Yeah? So we have a great list of KOLs in our database. And if some of those KOLs retweet or quote your dashboard or your tweet, the best what can happen for you. Of course, you share those tweets, or your friends will also retweet those tweets and so on. That's all fine, but the goal is really to reach the KOLs, because that will pump your score and pump the rank in Top N the most. So really go for the KOLs. That's the most important thing for you. The next bullet, only share it with a relevant audience, of course, because in the past we have seen it a lot that people use some communities to push their tweets. I just can say that's not the right way. Why? Because usually if you use such communities, Maybe you get some likes, maybe you get some retweets, but also the possibility to get botted is also very high, for example. And if we find out that some tweets are botted, we will remove your tweet or your dashboard from earning, because that is not what we want and what we need. So the best way is really to start to grow your audience in an organic way. I know this is a very time-consuming thing, but in the long run, it will pay out. Otherwise, there's also, if you get botted or you use bots, for example, there's a high possibility that you get kicked out by Twitter itself. We had that in the past a few times already, that some accounts were closed for reasons. We don't know the reasons exactly, but yeah, Twitter was not happy about that, what happened with those accounts. So there must be a reason why they closed it. So the goal is to grow your audience, of course, and to grow it in an organic way. Yeah, before you start and try to earn with us, I guess it's a very good starting point is to read our documentation and understand our rules and guidelines. And of course, you have to stick to it because otherwise we will remove you from earning. So, but in general, we want that you use our platform. We want to give you the opportunity to earn money. So this is a brief overview of how to get there. It's important to be the source of truth. So that also means double check your numbers, double check your metrics, double check your charts, and compare those with some other sources. Because what we very often see is that people build great dashboards, but all the numbers on the dashboards are wrong. And from time to time, protocols reach out to us and ask us to correct those dashboards, but it's not our dashboards, it's your dashboard. So please do some due diligence before you publish it, because you want to just publish the right numbers and you want to be the source of truth. Because if people see that your numbers are always wrong, they will never ever follow you, retweet you, quote you, whatever. So you should really have a very, very big interest in offering the correct numbers. Also, another good tip for you is, I mean, on Twitter, we have seen already everything, but there is still a lot of niches left where you can find, because don't be the guy who does the next, I don't know, just write about airdrops, for example. There are so many sources on Twitter already who are just doing exactly that. Find another topic, find another niche, find your chain that interests you the most, find your protocols that interest you the most, and really go for them. Dive deep into them, play around with them, learn them. Also, as Gigi mentioned before, join their discords, ask questions there, ask the team what kind of analysis they're interested in. Ask them. They will tell you what they want to see. And if you connect in that way, it will be very easy to get a retweet from them also. This is also a good advice to get the KOL attention from a protocol or chain. Just be active, react to their tweets, quote their tweets, go in their Telegram, go into their Discord, talk with them, ask questions, interact with them, whatever, get in contact with them. As I already said, be active on Twitter, of course. And the fifth bullet is also very, I would say it's very important. I've seen a lot of Twitter accounts recently. They only retweet or tweet their own dashboards or retweet every dashboard they see. But I would say those kind of accounts are super boring. Most of the people won't ever follow them because it's boring to see just charts from them or from all analysts. That's not what they want to see. They really want to see some charts and some other content, maybe about some specific protocols or chains or whatever. quote stuff, write your own tweets about protocols and so on, but don't be the guy that only reposts stuff or that only posts their own dashboards. Those channels usually are super boring. Yeah, and do not just repost. Yeah, I guess the next bullets I already explained. So it's pretty easy usually to join the top N program. Yeah, find a good topic, make an insightful dashboard, publish it, share it on Twitter, get some KOL attention, and get some good scoring and ranks in our top N and earn with that. Yeah, so I guess we are already now at the end. This slide is very important. It has nothing to do with Flipside. It has nothing to do with data analysis. It's just an important topic. We are actually in a very hot phase. Maybe we are already again in a bull run. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of scams in the past. It happened last weekend that one of our community members got scammed. Yeah, the message is be careful out there. Yeah? There are scammers all around. Be careful. Always double check everything what you are doing. Yeah, before you sign a transaction, whatever. Always double check what you are doing there. They are very helpful. Browser extensions out there like Pocket Universe. They will warn you if you visit a scam site. They will warn you if the transaction is sus, or if they get too many rights to transfer too many tokens from your wallet. It's very important to use such extensions. It's very important to always double check everything. Also, if you get some DMs on Discord or on Twitter, always double check the accounts, if these accounts are real or not. There are so many simple accounts out there, or people who are impersonating others. As I mentioned last weekend, that happened on our Discord. So a member from us got scammed. Someone set up a Discord account which looks like mine. It wasn't mine, but yeah. And then the tragedy begins. So always double check. Another good information is never ever connect your wallet to a sub-site. Never ever give away your seed phrase. If you are on a website and they will ask you for the seed phrase, never ever give it to them. There is no reason for that. It's just a scam. Never do it. Always double check where you connect your wallets. Never, if someone sends you a link for example, there are many people out there who are looking for a job, and there are many people who are offering jobs, or they say they're offering jobs, but what they're doing is they will send you, for example, a link for a software that you have to install to do a video session. But that software is not to do as a video session; it's just to get control about your over your wallets and so on. So never ever install SaaS software which you get sent via DM per link or whatever. Yeah, and never ever give away your seed phrase. So be careful out there. Yeah, these are some links, so you can follow me on Twitter. This could be very helpful because I also offer a how-to session with some good tips on how to be successful with Flipside or with your dashboards or with whatever is related to Flipside and earn. Of course, follow Flipside, the Flipside crypto account itself. Join our Discord. If you have questions, you can ask there. Usually you will always get an answer or our support there. So yeah, feel free to join us. And if you have questions, yeah, just ask. Yeah. So this is already my last slide. So weekend is incoming. Have a great weekend, and let's go for the questions, I would say.
All right, come on, let's appreciate Piper for the wonderful session. Thank you so much, Piper, for this moment, okay, now we're going to like take questions. We're going to take questions. You can identify by like raising up your hand, you know, and then we'll point you from there.
Yeah, you can ask questions. You can also write the questions in the chat, and you can also ping me afterwards on Twitter or in our Discord if you have more questions.
All right. So, are we having questions? Okay. I see. Olarnari Frank. You can ask a question.
Okay. Thank you. So the question I want to ask is, other than I would say other than dashboards, what other means could somebody in this space that is an analyst use to earn income, other than dashboards?
I mean, dashboards is just that what we offer, right? So, and for example, you can also make a career as a data analyst with Flipside. So usually we start with the top end program. We also offer, we have some ambassador positions. If you are later an expert for a blockchain, a protocol, or whatever, there is a good chance to let's say get kind of hired as an ambassador for a protocol. And if you make your name in the space, there are usually very, very good opportunities to get hired as a on-chain analyst for an ecosystem, for a protocol, for a blockchain, whatever. We have a lot of examples from our past where community members get a job after they started or doing Flipside dashboards for a while. Yeah. So this is, I would say, it's a very good opportunity for you guys to start and also to earn some money. But if you're doing good with dashboards and analysis and make your name in the Web3, there is a good chance that you can get a job also there.
Okay, thank you. I would leave the floor open. Although I do have another question, but let's proceed with others for now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Ejog,
Okay.
can you ask your question?
Oh.
Ejog.
Hi, good evening,
Yeah.
everybody. Okay, so can you hear me, please? Okay, hi. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so yes, I don't know if mine is a question or I just want to say something. Okay, so yes, I'm a data analyst, but all of this is new to me. So is this like newbie friendly? Or do I have to learn or know a few more things before I dive into this? And how and where can I? Because when I say newbie friendly, like I mean I've always wanted to learn Web3, but this was like this is like the opportunity for me. So for a newbie, can I actually dive into this and get a hold of it? That's my question.
I'm not sure if I get you right. So of course you can start at any time at Flipside and start with your analysis. Of course, also if the quality of your dashboards have, if there is a, let's say, a minimum quality of your dashboard, it's not just as I did it, just one chart, for example. It is a full analysis. You can earn from the beginning, of course, but you always should make sure that you have an interesting dashboard, that your dashboard answers a question, gives some insights, and for sure the most important thing is that your numbers are correct. But usually I would say yes, you can start kind of from the beginning. In the past, we had two different leagues, the Silver League and the Gold League. So in Gold League, the standard was a bit higher. In Silver League, it was, yeah, I would say quite easy to get a rank in the top N and to earn some money. Now we have put together those two leagues into one. Now it's a bit harder, I would say, but still, if you're doing an interesting analysis and you get some traction on it, it means you get some impressions, retweets, whatever, there is a good chance that you can earn with that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Can we have like Uzorue Chinedu? Can you ask a question?
All right, thank you. Thank you, Piper. Such awesome presentation. So I have just one question. So I see that Flipside uses SQL. So is there like proficiency level one has to have attained in SQL before one can use Flipside, or you can learn as you begin to build on Flipside? Thank you.
Yeah, the quality was also very bad again of the connection. So I guess to start with Flipside, of course, you need a basic understanding of how SQL or SQL works. That is important, and you have to learn that before, because otherwise you're not able to write a query and get some data. So a good starting point is usually, there are so many SQL tutorials out there. I can also post later a few ones on my channel, or I can offer that. There are very, very good and a lot of SQL tutorials out there to learn that. It's not super complicated. I would say SQL, everyone can learn it, even if you are not a software developer or whatever. It's doable by everyone, and that should be a starting point. Another thing that you should know is that Flipside is using Snowflake as a database, so you should start with SQL, and after that you should learn the specifics of the Snowflake database, but also for that there is very, very good documentation out there.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Paul, can you ask a question, Paul?
Did you call me?
I mean, I'm Paul. Paul.
Good
Yeah.
evening. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Paul. I'm a data analyst. I am proficient with SQL and some other language, actually, Excel and all of that. But I'm not so familiar with on-chain analysis. So my goal was, the first question I want to ask is, I saw a video sometimes ago on, is it Dune or something, DUNE? That is a language for on-chain analysis. So I don't know whether it's different from this one. Maybe it's not used on Flipside. That's the first question. I want to know if Dune is used on Flipside as well. And the second question is that I, for one, am interested in the earning part, but my target is to have I have a long-term plan to become an on-chain data analyst. So I know what you just showed us is not all there is to on-chain analysis. I'm quite sure, right?
I mean, there are different ways to do on-chain analysis. Yeah, you mentioned Dune. That's of course also another way to do it. It's kind of similar to what we are doing at Flipside. But there, beside Dune and also Flipside, there are many other providers out there who provide data that can be analyzed. Yeah. So, and I mean, I guess at the beginning where you start, I would say it's not super relevant. It's relevant that you start. It's relevant that you understand how those chains or protocols, how they work, and how you do an analysis and how you find the interesting things to analyze. That's yeah, I guess that's important. And if you understand that, I mean, after that there are different ways to proceed. Yeah? I mean, there is not a need, for example, to use such a platform like Flipside. I would say it's an easy way to start with that and to learn it and to understand everything. But after that, you are also, if you are, for example, interested in software development, you can also use our APIs to get the data and build your dashboards or your charts or whatever by yourself with Python or whatever. There are very, very many and different ways to proceed as an on-chain analyst after you have started with Flipside, June, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So, but the issue I have with this particular one is the sharing on Twitter and all of that. I share data on Twitter quite all right, but you know, I don't control the number of people that we retweet. I don't really have much Twitter followers. I only have a little bit above 1,000.
Mhm.
So I don't usually get people to retweet and all of that. I only have some few views. So I am not sure how that one works. We work actually, but to actually analyze data, I have quite a very strong interest in on-chain analysis. So to really spend time to analyze data and to make research on that, I'm sure is something I can do. But the aspect of sharing and I mean, I can post and retweet and share my tweets, my analysis or dashboard. But the aspect of sharing and retweet, people sharing and all of that
Mhm.
is what I may have issue with a little bit.
I understand that. So I would also say it's two different topics. So the first one you said is you want to learn on-chain analysis. So for that, you don't need Twitter, for example. You don't need to share your dashboards or whatever. For that, you just need our platform. You need to use protocols. You need to understand them. You need to query the data, follows transactions, and you can build your dashboards. Great. That's one step or one part. The other part is it's what we offer is that you can earn with that also. And for that, it's needed that you build your audience. And of course, you said you have not many followers. We all started like that. At the beginning, I don't know, I started also with a very, very small amount of followers. But it will grow over time. And if people find your account or see your account or see that you quote or reply or comment and see your work there, your dashboards, your analysis, and they read it, they understand it, and they see, hey, this is a very nice summary of how a protocol works and how many people are using it and how many transactions they are having and so on, then they will follow you and the audience will grow. And as I said very early in the session, it will take time. Yeah, but this, if you use Twitter and you talk about what you are doing there and about what you find out, the audience will grow. Yeah, maybe
Yes, sir.
it will
So
take time, but it will happen. But and that was the last word I would say is you don't have to do it. It's just that you have to do it if you want to earn with us. If you just want to learn, then you can skip that part. If you want to earn with us, then you have to do it. Yeah.
All right. I think that answers the question. Thank you very much, Piper. And we're going like a bit over time. So the other questions that you have, you can probably like reach out to them on Twitter. You know, guys, we should like go to the comment sections and then like follow Piper, follow Marina, and also follow Analytics Sage if you're not doing that already. So I would like to like put Apostle on the mic. Apostle of Finance, he's like currently online. Can we just like appreciate our facilitator today? Apostle, are you there?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Sure.
Yeah, we can, loud and clear.
Jen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Piper. Thank you so much for taking your time, creating those presentations, and coming to share with us over here at Analytics Stage community. And I saw that it was like the full squad of Flipside who was here earlier, GJ, and I also saw, okay, I can see Marina. Yeah, thank you so much, Marina. Thank you so much, Piper. Thank you, GJ, for your time. And a big appreciation to everyone who has been on this call since the beginning of this presentation up until now. I'm very sure that you've gotten so much value from the time shared with us, by Piper.
If I don't slap both of you, just let me sit dirty on this floor. If we're not going to eat, go and return, keep that food. I'm going to find somewhere and sit down.
Daddy, please, we are on chain right now. Don't beat the kids. All right, so you can also mute your mic, please. Thank you. So yeah, big appreciation to Piper. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Flipside community team for your big support. Thank you to all participants on this call. Thank you to everyone who has asked their question. Yeah, so please do well to follow Piper on Twitter. Yeah, follow Piper on Twitter, follow Marina on Twitter, and also do well to engage with the Flipside community. You know, they've been huge. They've been offering huge value in this space. Like someone was asking, how to earn and all that. So like Piper had said, you have to build your own audience. You have to build your own value, right? You know, a time would come whereby the kind of value you build, you will not have to rely on, posting on Twitter, getting retweets, because then you'll be working on more, let's say, private jobs, with more serious pay, right? So yeah, and I believe the earning should not be a distraction for us to put out, just anyhow dashboards, like I've always said. So we need to make sure that we're putting out quality queries, quality dashboard, quality information. All right. Let's not forget that this was put together by Analytics Sage. So Analytics Sage is a community of on-chain analysts, and we are committed to helping each individual, either you are coming from the Web 2 data space into the Web 3 data space, to have a soft landing, right? And a vast majority of our community members are persons who do not have prior data experience when they join Analytics Sage. So with the community, we create that energy, okay, where you get to learn and you get to network, you get to know more about how things are done within the on-chain space. So learning is beyond what we've had today. So Piper and the team has shared us some resource. So you can always go over those resources in order for you to earn your skill on how to navigate Flipside. Okay, so I'm just going to say that, okay, this month we've been having, since last month, we've been having a series of sessions. It's not because, we just want to have a session. It's because there's a need for it, right? And like we've had today on Flipside 101, our next session is supposed to hold on the 14th, right? And, but the speaker had requested that we shift the dates. So I'm trying to, okay. So the speaker had requested that we shift the date. So the topic is around, I want to believe you can see my screen though. So the topic is around freelancing, leveraging Upwork to boost earnings as a Web3 data analyst. So it's going to be facilitated by Rodolfo Lima, right? So he's a data analyst in the US, and also offers on-chain freelancing jobs on Upwork, right? So at Analytics Stage, we are bringing him on board to show us, how to use our skill, our resource, our skill to earn, all right, you know, to work on Upwork. So of course, it's going to teach us the practical ways of how to navigate Upwork, how to set up your profile on Upwork to attract the right clients and all the stuff. So yeah, so this is another aspect where you can earn for those who, you know, money definitely is a motivation for you. All right. So this is also another aspect where you can earn and get to learn how you can freelance your skill and earn, you know, with it. So that's on one end. So the speaker reached out today that on the 14th would not work for him, and requested that we shift the date to, yeah, let me just confirm, 21st of November. So that's like a week after. So it will be only on the 21st of November. The registration link should be going out tomorrow so that we can start registering for the session. Also, please, let's do well to engage on our Analytics Sage Twitter page. So when we put out informations like this, you can also help us, you know, like and repost, most especially for more visibility. You can quote, you know, and create more visibility for the session. So I'm also going to drop some of our links on the chat. So we have a WhatsApp group where you can join, right? So we have several conversations are always going on, you know. Either you're having query problems, or you are looking for how to you know, how to get a particular information on chain, and then so you get those informations. You can also ask for help within the group. We have over 350 on-chain analysts on the group, and there would always be somebody who would be willing to assist you. So we have a WhatsApp group for effective communication. You can join the group. For those who are new to Analytics Sage and then you are still confused, right? So you can always send me a DM. You can check one of the admins, Apostle of Finance. You send me a DM, and then, you know, I can help you onboard into on-chain data analysis space. Well, so we also have our YouTube page where we will get to upload most of our videos. You also see some of our videos, past videos, present videos. You'll see there on our Twitter page. Likewise, please do also follow us. We are also on LinkedIn as well. All right, so that's all. We would like to bring the session to a close, where we appreciate each and every one of us for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in our next session. Special thanks to Cruz for hosting this session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Piper. Thank you to the team of Flipside. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Bye, guys.
Thanks for having us, and have a nice weekend.
Yeah, and you too. Thank you.